Morning, everybody. I trust you've all had a great breakfast. We've got some coffee. We'd like to thank you all for taking the time to be here this morning for the exciting announcement of the newly formed alliance of Lushaka Investments, Marta and Jill, and Mercantile Bank in a strategic partnership on the development of this magnificent Central Square. Here to talk to you about this alliance, as well as Central Square, is the CEO of Lushaka Investments, Mr. Sergio Aquino. After a career in IT, Sergio joined Lushaka Investments, founded by his father, Luciano Aquino, and Sergio found his calling. And together, father and son pioneered some phenomenal developments. Jose Beretta was Luciano's partner in operations. He worked alongside Sergio's father for 35 years and is still with Lushaka today. And we welcome him this morning, and we value his expertise in our team. Welcome, Jose. To tell you more about magnificent Central Square is Mr. Sergio Aquino.
Okay. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This tripartite alliance, for me, I define it as a synergy between three very strong partners. And the synergy is defined as the whole functioning in itself is greater than the sum of the parts. So I would like to talk a little bit about Lushaka and then also the reasons why we've entered into this deal with Marta Gilles and with Mercantile Bank. So you may be aware that Lushaka has been in this market for the last 40 years as a builder. In the last 15 years, we went into our own developments. The first one in this area was Amazonas, which is directly behind this building. It was 50 apartments. We sold that out within 6 months. We then did the next development in the area called Sunset Towers, which is on your right-hand side. That was 104 units. It was sold out in 10 months. And straight after that, we started with this development, Central Square, which was a 3-phase development, which consisted of this World Trade Center building that we're in today. So we are on top of the building, and hopefully in the next couple of months, we will be on the top of the next building that we'll be finishing. So we've been pioneers in this market for the last 10, 15 years, and we've been the first to bring some elements of development, especially offering the market. For example, we're the first in installing gas systems throughout the apartments and into all our developments. We were the first in introducing fully integrated kitchens in our units. And we since have improved our development significantly. And in beginning of 2013, we sold this office building to SA Corp. And at the beginning of 2014, we then decided to re-strategize our development and refocus it to the new design that you see today. And we brought in, thanks to Lushaka Architects, headed up by Brent Buchanan, is the development you see today. It's the latest and the best, in my opinion, the most beautiful building in Sandton that you're gonna see. And in towards the middle of October in 2014, we then launched the sales of the development of Central Square. And thanks to Kent Gush Properties, we've sold over 50% of the development to the market. And it's been very well received. And we're well on our way to selling out the rest of the development before the end of the project. So with Mercantile Bank, we've been working with them for the last 10 years. This year actually marks the 10th year. And they first joined us or worked with us in our second development, Sunset Towers. And from there we went in, started funding the World Trade Center building, and we then moved on to develop to fund this next development, Central Square. And it's one of the largest projects that they've undertaken in terms of finance. And you know, we as a company, Lushaka, we are a very small company relative to the market, and so is Mercantile Bank in their sector. And very often we need to, as an entrepreneur, we have to find alternative ways of funding projects in order to unlock these developments. So, you know, this is where Mercantile's been remarkable in coming up with a solution that was very workable, and it paves the way for other entrepreneurs to follow. So they were instrumental, and they make up one of the most important elements of our synergy is the funding partner in this project. And we're very proud to work with them, and they've been very supportive over the years. In terms of Motagil, in the beginning of 2014, we also decided that our strategy going forward was going to be different. And we decided that as a developer, we need to focus as a developer and outsource the function of construction, not only for this project, but also for the future of our development company. We, as a construction company, we're very limited to the Johannesburg region. But with Motagil, we're able to have a further reach in the African market, in the African continent, and even possibly look at developments in other places in South Africa and neighboring countries. They also come with an extensive experience in delivering projects across the whole construction process. So we're very comfortable that they would be able to deliver this project within time, and they come with, from a cultural point of view, we understand the language of how they operate, and we look forward to working with them. Interestingly, they were one of the first tenants in this building. We originally did business with them in 2012, and since then, the CEO of the company, we've developed a very good rapport, and it was from then that we started looking at how we would work together going forward. And we are, like I say, very excited about this synergy. So the three companies, Lushaka Investments, Motagil, and Mercantile Bank together would deliver this project. And as you can see, construction has started. There has been some delays in this project due to various challenges that we've had. And this is why I'm so excited about, you know, sharing this launch with you, because I'm very nervous about talking to you about this, because it's quite emotional for me. We've gone on this road it's taken a long time to get to this point, and sometimes it's difficult to believe that we're here today and that we've commenced construction, and we're on schedule to finish in 2017 second quarter. And I'll be the first person to be handing over keys to the new owners, together with Kent Gush and his team, in middle of 2017. There's nothing like that when you're giving your keys to a new homeowner, and they now taking, you know, they're going to come and live in your building. So for all the media people, I would not like to hand over to Mercantile Bank and Mota to talk about the deal from their perspective. But if you have any questions, I'll be available afterwards to help you and to assist you. And if you want to buy an apartment, we're offering special deals, and they're the people to talk to. And thank you very much for coming by here today. I really appreciate your time, and I really look forward to working with everybody, because at the end of the day, this is business is a people's relationship thing. You know, you can't get anywhere without relationships, and we've got fantastic relationships in Lushaka, with Mota, with Mercantile Bank, with Kent Gush, with Nasika, with all the engineering teams, and this is a team effort. And I think people forget that an apartment or a building is a handmade thing. It's not a thing that you put through a factory floor and it produces it on the other side. It's something that it's a collaboration with many, many different people. And please go and tell the world about the project has commenced, and we are on track to delivery second quarter of 2017. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sergio. I'd now like to introduce Mr. Bruno Machado. He was appointed as Executive Director of Motagil in June of 2014. He'll be able to share with you, amongst other issues, Motengil Africa's flagship project in South Africa, Central Square, where, as Sergio has mentioned, construction has commenced.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I would like to take this opportunity to officially introduce you to our organization that is Motengil Africa. We have been working in the African continent for almost 70 years. A history full of achievements of diverse nature. Paraphrasing Charles Darwin, who once said that it's not the strongest of the species that survives, but the most adaptable. This is true to our history that led us to our achievements to date. As the Motengil Group, we are in 22 countries, among the 30 largest construction group in Europe, and among the top 100 globally. But more important, as Motengil Africa, we are among a very short list of African construction companies listed in the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, working in 11 countries throughout the continent and expanding every day. Motengil Africa is a leading provider of integrated engineering and construction service in sub-Saharan Africa with a large experience and specialized know-how. With over 14,000 employees in Africa, we opened up African operational headquarters in Johannesburg in 2012, here in this building. Since then, we have been moving towards reopening up our construction area in South Africa. And today, I am proud to introduce to you Motengil Construction South Africa, MEXA, as you've seen in the banners, a branch of Motengil Africa, an EPC company. As MEXA, we are poised to bring to South Africa the quality born of 70 years of experience working in Africa. MEXA is a CBID Level 9 company, allowing us the opportunity to bid and possibly work on projects of distinguish within South Africa. We have the expertise in highway construction and management, real estate, development, multi-purpose, like shopping centers, hospitals, residential, office buildings. We cover basically all the segments in the construction industry. As MEXA, we intend to work in a variety of projects inside this market, providing our clients a holistic solution that suits their individual needs. This project, I believe, is a very strong proof of what we've done. We are, as we have been in the past 70 years, a partner and a solution provider. For us, all our clients bring value to the project. Today, we stand together with Lushaka Investments and Mercantile Bank to launch the Central Square project. It is definitely a special day for MEXA, as we commence our activities in South Africa with such elegant and landmark project in the heart of Central. That will allow us the opportunity to bring the standards and quality of Motengil work. This represents a new rising sun for MEXA here in South Africa. We take up this task that has been given us, which surely succeeded, ensuring to the satisfaction of our client Lushaka Investments and all the stakeholders involved. The project has all the ingredients to match our quality and standards. And we are very pleased to be associated with such development. As a contractor, we understand that we are building dreams and molding futures. But today, the only future we are looking for is the success of the Central Square project, as MEXA becomes the solution provider for all development needs. To finalize, I would like to thank you, everybody that is involved until today in Motengil Africa Organization, Mercantile Bank, Lushaka Investments, for all the teamwork they've developed. And when there is teamwork, the dream works. So, thank you very much. And if there are any questions, we'll be available.
Thank you very much, Mr. Machado. Lastly, please welcome Carl Kumbier, CEO of Mercantile Bank. Mr. Kumbier has over 2 decades of experience in the financial services industry and was appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Mercantile Bank in April 2013.
All right, morning everyone. I thought I'd just start by, in case you want to talk to the Mercantile team and see who actually did all the work here, but our executive director is a secondee from our holding company in Portugal. He spent 4 years in New York. He's just joined us literally a year ago. But here's Ricardo, in case you want to chat to him, right? And then the actual people that do the work are there. Sean's our head of commercial banking at the back there. Just put up your hand, Sean. And then they worked hard on the deal, and in particular to Jason. Jason over there is the accounts executive, and then our head of marketing, Hope. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know much about Mercantile, we're a niche business and commercial bank. So we only bank entrepreneurs. So it doesn't matter if you're a hairdresser or Richard Branson, as long as there's someone behind the business. And our sole purpose in life is to grow entrepreneurs. And I think this project is a perfect example of that. As Sergio said, 10 years ago, Sergio and his father and Jose, they came to us and said, this is their vision. There's a shortage of apartments in Sandton. We want to put up Sunset Towers. And when we look at a transaction, probably 60-70% of it is the people behind it. And we had a look at it and we said, no, we can partner with Lushaka. Looks like a great business, great integrity, nice people, they understand the industry. So we partnered with them. And then they sold out, as you said, within 6 months. And they took all of that, all the money they made out of that, invested it in the land over here. And then they said, no, they want to put up office space because there's a shortage of office space. And you look in hindsight now how many offices are going up in Sandton, so they're obviously ahead of the game there. And they put up this World Trade Center. So we provided the funding solutions there. And then from there, the building was sold to I think one of the old mutual subsidiaries. And then they came and said, listen, with all the office space going up in Sandton, I think at the moment there's something like 300,000 squares going up all over Sandton. There's going to be traffic's an issue. People are going to want to live closer to where they work. You want to maybe ride your bicycle to work or walk or take one of these tuk-tuks. And so they said there's a huge shortage of accommodation for upmarket accommodation. You think about the industries, stockbrokers, investment bankers, lawyers, everyone around you. So they wanted to put up this the residential or mixed-use development. So we had to look at it, and we decided to partner with them on it. Now we're a small bank. We're the largest of the small banks, but we see ourselves as a small bank with big bank capabilities. So there's not a single product or service we don't offer. So from electronic banking to overdraft, credit card, debit card, there's nothing we don't do. So every product a big bank offers, we offer. I suppose our only constraint is the size of our balance sheet. So the maximum deal size we could ever do is 300 million rand, right? So, and this was a 600 million rand lending. It's a billion rand deal, but it's 600 million of borrowing. So we put on our entrepreneurial hats, and we're owned by the largest bank in Portugal. They own the largest bank in Mozambique. They own a big bank in Macau. They own a big bank in Angola. And so we got together with our international operations and said, between the international operations, can they raise the additional 300? So, and they did. We put it into a structure. And we can happily say it's all been signed off, and we've now got a 600 million of funding we're able to provide to Lushaka to do this. And I think that sets us completely, puts us in a different league compared to the, I suppose, the other smaller banks in the country. Then if you look at it from a risk point of view, and you say, I forgot to introduce our head of credits here. We don't often let them out of the cage, but he did come as well, Mike Poland. Now he's got 40 years of experience in banking or in credit, and if he signs the deal off, it's a good deal. That I can tell you. So we looked at it from a risk point of view, and we said, there's so much office space going up, so there's a demand for accommodation. So that's not the issue. It's a great location. The whole concept of having this mixed-use development is fantastic. But the other risk is construction. To say, and I think it's quite interesting because Jose and Sergio obviously they looked at it as a do it ourselves. Or a big project like this, massive, putting everything on the line, maybe we need to have a look at the construction side of it. So then they decided, let's go and choose Motor and Jill. And Motor is the largest construction company in Portugal. I've been to Angola. They've got a massive operation in Angola. I've been to Mozambique. There's a big operation in Mozambique. and they set up shop now in South Africa. So what a wonderful partner, to have one of the top construction companies in the world to come and to build this development. So I've no doubt that the quality of this is going to be fantastic when it's finished. So now, if you look at the whole general economy and that, and I think everyone's a bit worried about the growth rates and that, but I think your job creation that's going to come out from SMEs. It's not going to come out of the corporates. Corporates are cutting jobs. So now, if you think about it, we're a bank that only supports SMEs. So I think we're hopefully going to play quite an important role in job creation and growing the economy in this country. And I think this is a perfect example of that, because you think about a project like this going up here, it must create hundreds, if not, I don't know, thousands of jobs, just on this project, whether it's the construction workers or the suppliers to the building. So I think we're very happy about being, part of that for that reason. So I have to say, I really look forward to sitting here in the middle of 2017, and when he hands those keys over, and looking back and saying, we feel really proud as Mercantile to have been part of this wonderful project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you'll all agree that Central Square is set to be one of the sexiest buildings to grace the Sandton skyline in the very near future. We'd like to thank Mr. Aquino, Mr. Kumbie, and Mr. Machado for being with us today and for sharing your fascinating overview on this incredible development. We now progress to the Q&A part of this morning's proceedings. This will just give everyone an opportunity, if you'd like to ask a question to any one of the three partners. You can just raise your hand and we'll get a microphone over to you. And for any of you who'd like to have a one-on-one interview with any of the three partners, you can please progress outside onto the patio. We'll be able to have an opportunity to chat to the three of them and to ask any questions. We're also very fortunate to have Ken Gush and his team here today, as we mentioned before. So if anyone would like to take a trip down to the ground floor, a very long trip down the elevator, there's a magnificent show apartment that's open and available to view. It really is worth seeing. It's quite spectacular, and it'll really set the tone for the quality of the build that this project has got going for it. So again, I'd like to thank you all for being here this morning, and question and answer. The question will start now. Looks like you've answered everything.
Sure. Yes. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of information, more information that I unfortunately didn't mention to you. These apartments, we have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. They're fully kitted out with all the Amelia appliances. Like I said before, they're fully installed with gas for cooking. The apartment is gas heated. They're much larger than the normal apartments that you find in Sandton. Our competitors are generally about 20 to 30% more expensive than us as per rate per square meter. So we're very competitive in terms of price and value. The development is part of a mixed-use development. So you've got the office building, the World Trade Center building, and then we've got the second phase of the Central Square, which is what is going up now. And then the third phase of the development will be launched a little bit later next year. And then on the ground floor of this development, we have a piazza area, which is going to cater for, going to have coffee shops, restaurants, convenience stores. So we will be one of the very few mixed-use developments in Sandton that have got all the facilities built into this development. So you don't actually have to leave Central Square to go out to enjoy a restaurant or to have, for example, gym and spa facilities outside of Central Square. So it's a fully integrated, and you'll have all the services built into this development. One other factor which is very important is, and Cole mentioned this before, was the impact of transport and people traveling in and out of Sandton. Living in this kind of node, you have the benefit of not needing to get into your car. You pretty much can leave your car here and you'll catch the shuttle, which we'll be offering to all the residents and the retailers in this development. So we'll have a bus to the car training back and various points in Sandton. So we'll pretty much have our own private transport system at Central Square. And like I said, in terms of restaurants and coffee shops, we're looking to attract some of the best brands and best products, or operators, not franchises. We want to stay away from franchises, but we want to, not that there's anything wrong with the franchises, but we just want to offer something different. So we are in discussions with retailers that will offer something unique and is in line with the level and quality that our development is aiming for. Just a pointer regarding the current sales that we've got at the moment. We've sold, like I said, 50% of the building, and about 50% of that is investors, people looking to purchase to rent out, because the rental market in Sandton is very strong. The other 50% is pretty much made up of homeowners that are downsizing from the existing homes, and the other half is people that are foreigners that are looking for a base in Sandton, which is recognized as the financial center of Africa. So we expect that trend to continue going forward. So I'm expecting that the rental market in Sandton will continue being strong. Just something that Cole mentioned early on regarding the office space that's coming up. There's an additional 700,000 square meters of commercial space coming in the next 3 to 5 years. So all, in 5 years' time, we'll have an additional 1 million square meters of commercial space in Sandton. And obviously, there's a shortage of accommodation, a big shortage. And we put the numbers in between 3,000 to 4,000 units in this market. So if you just take a percentage of those 4,000 units, you would have around 1,000 to 1,500 people that are in this market that we are targeting in terms of sales. So we see a strong demand for residential that will, and generally the cycles of construction and developments are, mostly commercial space leads the way, and then behind that the residential market follows. So we see that there's a growing demand, and it's going to be increasing even more and more, especially with the e-tolling, people spending 2 to 3 hours a day in traffic, and people generally want to live, work, and play in the same location. And just another last point is Sandton is still way behind the rest of the world in terms of the ratios of commercial space to residential. You go to New York, London, Paris, and you generally have a lot more residential space in the middle of commercial space that helps to support that live, work, and play mentality. So I think that we as developers and other developers that we're competing with have seen this gap in the market.
Thank you very much, Sergio. Any other questions from the floor? Any questions from the floor? Okay, well, in that case, we'd like to usher the 3 gentlemen out onto the balcony so we can have any one-on-one interviews. Please feel free to stay and have some more coffee and juice. Otherwise, the Ken Cash team are here. You can raise your hands, guys, and they will take you down to the apartment if you'd like to have a tour. Thanks again for coming.